So I wanted to talk about, you said you weren't so easy for your mom, and there's been
Nope.
some
Nope.
struggles for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and
There has. I mean, I have. Obviously, I have. I've had addiction has been an issue for a large part of my life.
mhm,
Um, and whatever. Again, I'm not asking for anybody to feel sorry for me. It was a series of bad decisions, a series of things that people I shouldn't have got involved with. Blah blah blah. You can blame it on whatever, but again, it was my decision. And then you get to a point that you're sick. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
right.
Some people, like most people, can just do what they do and then stop or whatever, and then they're good.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. You know what I mean? So I threw out. I'm going to say 10, 12 years of my life of with like real addiction, like straight up addiction, not just going out and partying, like addiction, like running my life addiction.
Mm,
And I'm sure the pain that I've caused my family and my mother and that's why I'm so grateful and so blessed that I can't even express the gratitude I have. Like my ex the mother of my child, Melanie, like we're not together. We're married for 6 years, but she's such an amazing person. She didn't give up on me when she probably should have. We have the most beautiful daughter. She's my best friend, my wife, my ex-wife, or whatever you want to call her. I don't, but I mean, we go on vacation together. I just had Thanksgiving with her, and so she sees something in me that she doesn't have to.
mm,
So so again, like the gratitude I have for like everybody could have and should have turned their back on me a long time ago. My friends, oh my God, you know my friends, you know who they are. I'm not going to name any of them because I don't want to leave anybody out. But they were all there for me. I cut them off out of embarrassment, probably for years. But again, like my family, they never ever gave up on me. And and again, like gratitude, like the gratitude I have is, yeah, I just can't even explain it because I really shouldn't be here. And because I've been around a lot of death, like three of the closest people to me, I've probably had her dead. That very easily could have been me.
mhm,
It's just a lifestyle that, I mean, you don't ask for, but I mean, it happened. And see, now that I look at it now, you surround yourself with the right people and you do the right thing, and you can only help yourself. Nobody else can do anything for you. But now it made me who I am. Like I can't change the past. I can't predict tomorrow, but I can learn from it, and I can only live for today. So I think it made me the man I am. It made me the father I am. It made me the brother I am. It made me, you know what I mean? It
mhm,
made me the boss I am.
mhm.
So that adversity and that trauma and that all that, there is almost something in me that makes me feel like I needed to go through it to make
Yeah.
me, because like when I was younger, I opened Mariners at 24, 25 years old. You know, you're making money, you have an ego, you think you're invincible. And then, you know what I mean?
Mm,
You need to be knocked down a few
yeah.
pegs.
Yeah.
And I was, trust me, I was knocked down a lot of pegs and, and I needed that humility and I got it. And just so and there is a lot of people struggling out there, and the problem is with it, there's this stigma that you're a dirtbag, or like, oh, just will yourself out of it, you're weak, you're this. That's not true, because there was like, if I could have done that, I would have done that so
Right.
long ago.
Right.
There's so many people I know that would have done that, but
Yeah.
they just can't.
Yeah.
It's not what they do. It's not how it is.
Yeah.
It's not how it works. And it's you know what I mean. Like again, like I would have never spoken about this a few years ago, but now
Right.
it's part of who I am. It's not a secret anymore. And
Mhm.
me talking about it, if it helps one person, if it
Yeah.
helps me, it's worth it, because I luckily, and again, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the poster boy of recovery. I'm not the poster boy of, I'm not perfect. I'm not this. But if you saw where I was 7, 8 years ago to where I am today, um, it's a miracle. It really
Yeah.
is, and I owe that to a lot, to everybody around me,
Yeah.
to a lot of the people that never gave up on me, that should have. So
Yeah.
again, it is what it is. I guess. I mean, do I wish it was different? Of course. Of course. I mean, my mother and father probably didn't sleep for 10 years. Yeah. So, and the pain I caused. So yeah, of course, I wish it was different.
Yeah.
But again, I can't change the past. I can only go forward.
Do you mind me asking, excuse me, with the progression, like what went from what to what
Yeah,
to what?
well, the progression, it just sneaks up on you. So, and again, I'm leaving out people's names. So I didn't really to be honest, I was a late bloomer. Like I didn't drink in high school. I didn't really do anything in high school. I started a little later. I started a little later. You start with, of course, like drinking starts, and then blah blah blah. Then when I moved to New York City, like I hit that ecstasy
Okay.
boom, perfect. Like I had friends in like the club industry, and when ecstasy first started getting big, like that's when I was around. So like
Mhm.
ecstasy was like my first thing.
Okay.
But I like when like I can't pinpoint the addiction,
Mm.
and then the addiction, and then the ecstasy goes to something else, then it goes to something else, and then like I can't pinpoint the time that I was a user to a hard user to a straight up addict. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now that people say a drug is a drug is a drug. That's not because once, um, because there's drugs, but once opiates and that come into play, that's a whole different world.
Mm.
It's a whole different world. Like that. I mean that is that's the end all. So like I might have been a drug addict before that, before opiates came into play,
Mhm.
but that definitely was
Yeah.
like my downfall, and that made me a straight up,
Okay.
like I knew I was a drug addict when that happened, because that it runs your life. It runs your life, and you put everything else is second,
Mm.
and and then it takes time for it to get out of it, but then I don't know, you have an epiphany, something happens, whether it's your bottom, whatever it is, whether it's a spiritual experience, whether it's something, I don't know what it is, but something just hits you
Mhm.
and says, I just can't live like this anymore, and I got to get the help I got to get,
Yeah.
and and then you got to do what you got to do, and then I mean, or else you got to live that way. There's two ways out of that. It's
Right.
death or jail, or it's mostly death. You know what I mean? Jail if you're lucky. Um, so that's really like, I'm not gonna get into like what, like my like my the exact situation that made me realize that
Mhm.
enough is enough. I'm not gonna get into that,
Okay.
but it was bad enough to make me realize that this is it. Like
Yeah.
I got to do something.
Yeah. How many
Yeah.
times did you go to rehab
Uh,
for a rehab?
three,
Okay.
3 or 4. I don't even remember. Like the first couple were like these ridiculous, um, like I don't know, like almost country club. There was masseuses and saunas and this
Right.
and that, and you know what I mean. I guess whatever. They got their place. They got their place. But then the last time I went, I'm like, this ain't working. I'm like, I need this. So I went up. I checked myself into a straight up, like a real rehab, that like that. And not to sound, I don't want this to come off the wrong. I don't want to come this to come off the wrong way,
Yeah.
but I wasn't the typical patient.
Okay.
You know, so and but when I was there, I realized the only difference between me and them is my upbringing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So if I didn't have what I had, I would have been them.
Right.
So again, like that ego, that humility finally just went out the window when I realized, like I'm a product of my environment, and who am I to judge? So I needed that,
Mhm.
and so like that's the last. So hopefully that's the last time
Yes.
I'll ever go.
Yes.
So, but anyway, that's basically the addiction story, and it's a big part of my life, and it continues to be. It always will be. Um, it hurt relationships. It's, you know what I mean. It ruined relationships. It almost made me lose my daughter. It almost made me lose my livelihood. But again, I mean, it didn't.
It didn't.
So
Yeah.
that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
How so you went to the first rehab, got out, then how long after that did you go to the second one?
I mean, after the first one, I was see. This is what happens with rehab. The first time you go, you think you're cured.
Yeah.
You know, they call it the pink cloud. You come out, you got your 28 days. You think everything's good. You think, oh, I'm good, I'm cured, blah blah blah, no big deal, and you don't really want to do any of the work or anything, and
Right.
then it's just very 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 easy. All
To
of a
fall
sudden, you
back.
slip back in,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, whatever time goes by, you realize because you're in denial, and then
Hmm.
you go back again, and then the same thing happens. I mean, some people get it quick, some people get it after one time, some people, I mean, most people don't get it after once. I don't know too many people that went to rehab once.
Right.
I mean, I know people that went 20, 30, 40 times.
Wow.
So um so I mean, I'd say over like a 10-year stretch, like detox and rehab, probably four
Okay.
detoxes and rehabs, maybe four or five.
Okay.
I guess that would be my guess.
And it sounds like too, going to one that's like a spa, you're in you're in an environment that is not real life. I mean, not,
No,
and so you're then when you come back out, it's kind of like,
real life happens.
yeah, and it's like getting reacclimated into into real life,
See,
and you
but
might not have the tools, even though they
see,
try
this
to
is the
teach you
thing.
tools, right?
This is the thing with rehab. Rehab gets you clean, gets you dry. Then it's your job to stay that way
Right.
once you get out.
Do they
You know what I mean?
teach
You have to do
you?
work, and you need to. And I struggled. Like I was a militant atheist my whole life, and you know what I mean. And where to get me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Into rehabs, like so until you actually admit that there's something bigger out there, like whether I don't, I'm not gonna say what it is. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what I think it is. It doesn't
Right.
have to be what you think it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be what anybody else thinks it is. It doesn't really matter until you think that there's something bigger out there that can help you. That can You're not gonna get it. And so until I broke down, and I still don't know. I still don't know what's out there. But I'd rather be wrong and alive than right and
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what good is it me? What good is it for me to say, oh, there's no God, there's no this, there's no that.
Hmm.
Um, so like I don't know what it is, but there is something else. There's got to be,
So
and I see it for so many people.
when did that click in for you?
Probably when I saw my daughter born,
Mm.
I would think. I would think that there's something bigger.
Yeah.
I would guess when I saw my daughter born.
Okay.
I think that because when you're doing bad, like when you're doing emotionally bad, and when you think the worst of you, and trust me, that's how you think. And where you went through what you went through, if you're a good person, and you go through what you go through, and then you see a kid being born, and I'm half of
And
that.
that you created.
I'm
Yeah.
not all bad. I'm not
No.
all bad.
Yeah.
So I made half that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was very, very, and again, I still messed up after that. But it brought me back to where I
Mhm.
needed to be
Yeah.
eventually, because it's always there. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. So there is no there's no magic bullet that just
Right.
cures this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's a disease, like you get, but again, there's no magic cure. So,
And what works for some.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But the only the common denominator is nobody in the world is going to change you unless you want to change
Let's
yourself.
change it. Yeah.
So like those 3 or 4 times, like those couple times, I probably went to appease other people to shut them
Mm.
up. I probably knew deep down, but maybe not on the surface, but deep down, I probably knew that I wasn't done.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So because because I wasn't ready to come out and face what I had to face and do what I have to do. But eventually, hopefully, that hits people.
Yeah.
And again, so that's basically what it is. And again, there's a lot of people out there that help that have been through this, that have been in much worse condition than me, that are 10 times the people I am, that help so many people. So there is a way out.
Hmm.
There is. If
Hmm.
you feel helpless, but there is a way out. And I'm living. I mean, I'm doing good. Like
Yeah.
I see my daughter. I see my daughter. I see. You know what I mean, I'm financially. I'm okay.
You have
I
amazing
do.
friends,
Yeah, I have amazing friends. I have. You know what I mean.
including me. Just kidding.
So there's really exactly. So there's not really nothing I can complain about.
Yeah. So this the
There's nothing I can
last
complain.
sorry,
Yeah, go
the
ahead. I'm
last
sorry.
place you went that you were like, I needed this because it sounds
Yeah,
like hardcore.
yeah.
that's
It was almost like jail.
okay. So that really helped. Did they teach you tools though too? Or it was
No, I
just
mean
like
like you get taught. See,
yeah,
I could recite these tools. Like these programs are these programs. They're all almost basically the same.
right.
I mean, there are like they are what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how many different tools can you have?
Right.
But you get these special relationships with certain people that hit you different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like so, like you get you. I don't know what it is, I don't know how to explain it, but like there's certain therapists, or there's certain other patients, or there's certain people that relate to you
They're your
differently.
people. It's a
And
you connect with
exactly.
them. Yeah.
So it like recovery is recovery. The 12 steps are the 12 steps. Um, Everything else is yeah. So they can only teach you so much, but until like you know what I mean. Like you have to like I don't know how to explain it.
No,
Again,
I
that's
know
that
what you mean.
higher power. That's that higher power thing.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. Like that's a higher power thing, and that's really that higher power thing. And I remember one time, and this is when I first started thinking about a higher power. So I went to detox one time, and I was gonna leave. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not waiting. I can't stay here. I can't stay here. So Sunday there's a speaker. So the speaker walked in, and I've known him for like 25 years, and he's like, and I was about to leave, and he was like, Mark, stay for this, and then if you don't want to stay for after I talk, then you can go. I won't stop you, but at least stay. And then I stayed, and I ended up staying there for like I don't remember how long, for a long time. So like that was weird. Like he
Yeah.
came in at that exact moment,
Yeah.
and I still talk to him to this day.
Oh,
So it
yeah.
was it was weird. It was a little, you know what I mean? Like that's hard to
Mhm.
explain.
No,
Like
yeah.
that's bigger than me. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a coincidence. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But again,
Well,
who am I to say? Who
I
am I to say?
I don't really believe in coincidences. I think
Yeah,
things
me.
happen
Yeah,
for a
I don't
reason.
know. I don't know.
Um,
Yep.
and what was I gonna say? I mean, oh crap, something about so the people, did you connect the most with the people at the last place you were at?
Yeah, I really did.
Yeah.
I really did. I really did. I mean, I still, yeah, there's a couple of people I still talk to. There's a couple counselors I talk to there.
Mhm.
I did relate to them more. I really, but again, it might not just be because I was there. It was because I was just so tired and so fed up that
At
I
the
just
place you were
needed.
at
Yeah, I
in
think
yeah,
I was at the right place at the right time.
yeah,
I don't know if it had anything to do with them, but I just think I was at a place that I was just
yeah,
exhausted, and I
yeah,
just couldn't live the way I was living. And I just think that made me connect, and made me do
yeah,
the work. It made me believe, and made me, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So that's probably that has something to do with it.
Did that was it
I
a
think.
different obviously, it was, like, a different style there? What did it feel more real to you? Like, did they feel more real than
Well,
the
it's
other
more real
places?
because I mean because
'Cause
there's because you don't get to go outside. There's no
right.
gyms. There's no. It's very industrial.
Mhm.
I mean, it was just, and it was there was people in there that were going to jail for 10 years when they got
Mhm.
out, and yeah, and so it was just, and there was no amenities, there was no, you know what I mean? It was just, it was what it was,
Right.
and
Yeah.
again, like I just think I needed that at that
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
so that's just the way it happened.
It's funny,
So
I had on here, spirituality, like, what
yeah,
your spirituality,
yeah,
so you kinda answered
yep.
that.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I'm not a religious person. I'm not sure about whatever,
Right.
but I know I'm not the most important thing in the universe. So, and that's all I need to know.
Right.
That's all I
Um
need to know.